Morning. Welcome to Daily Focus. I'm glad that you're joining me this morning, and I trust that you're enjoying this beautiful day. We woke up in Michigan to an incredibly fall-like day where it was 46 degrees and a crisp nip in the air, and but absolutely gorgeous, and a few high clouds, but absolutely gorgeous out there today, and supposed to just get nicer throughout the day. We're praying for all of our brothers and sisters that are going through difficult times in the Carolinas and Tennessee. And then for those that are getting ready for Hurricane Milton in Florida, we certainly are praying for all of you. And we're thankful that we serve a God who's in control and sovereign and makes no mistakes, and that we can trust him no matter what the circumstances are. Well, I have entitled this devotional that commitment is hard, but it is always right. And commitment is one of those things that depends upon faith, and so it is rooted in faith. Um, when we lose faith in something, it really affects the degree in which we're committed to it. So, one of the huge battles that we're facing in America right now is faith in our election system, the integrity of our election system. And there are some people that have said to me, Pastor, it's hard to even get motivated to go vote if I'm not even sure that my vote counts. And what they're saying is my commitment is directly tied to how much faith I have in something. The same thing is true to your work. If you believe your work is profitable, it's productive, it means something, it matters, you're much more committed to it. If you don't feel like that it matters whether you show up or not, or it doesn't make any difference, or nobody ever really notices, it's hard to be committed to something. When people lose faith, it directly affects their commitment. And so here's Jesus has just explained to his disciples about marriage, and that in the design of marriage, it's rooted in commitment. It's rooted to be a lifetime commitment. And from the very beginning, what God hath put together, man is not to put asunder. What God hath joined, man cannot separate. And so the disciples are reeling from this, and they say in verse number 10, his disciples say unto him, if the case of the man to be so with his wife, it is not good to marry. But he saith unto them, all men cannot receive this saying, save they to whom it is given. For there are some eunuchs which were so born from their mother's womb, and there are some eunuchs which were made eunuchs of men, and there are some eunuchs which have made themselves eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven's sake. He that is able to receive it, let him receive it. And God is simply saying this, listen, just because I've told you you don't have the right to get out of a awkward situation, you don't have the liberty to get out of a difficult situation, you don't have the freedom to divorce yourself away from a hard situation. Whether you accept fornication as grounds for divorce or not, Jesus makes it very clear that the design of marriage is that you're going to go through some tough things that selfish people go through when you bring two selfish people into one relationship that is uniquely designed to last forever, that you're going to have some bumps in the road. You're going to have some difficult times. You're going to have a little resolve. What you're going to have is some commitment to each other, but ultimately a commitment to God. You're going to have to believe by faith. This is the design. And the disciples were struggling. Well, if we're going to have to stick into this thing through difficult times, is it better to just not even marry? And Jesus gives quite an interesting answer. He says some people aren't able to marry, they have no desire for the sexual relationship because they're born without the ability to perform. Some people, men have made that of them or demanded that of them. Others have relinquished that on their own for spiritual reasons. But God is saying, listen, this decision that I made in how to design marriage, and that it's designed to be rooted in believing that design and then being committed to that design, is important. And not everybody is going to understand why that commitment is worth it. They're not going to be able to receive the understanding of that level of commitment. And so they're going to run from marriage. They're going to run from that highest degree of relationship, uh, uniquely designed, different from all other relationships, and saved for just a man and a woman together with no other. That is a very unique relationship that God has designed, and not everybody can understand it. Not everybody can receive it. Not everyone is designed for it. But for those that it has been designed for, you better understand that it's rooted in commitment. And so this few verses really can be boiled down to God has this amazing design in marriage that we have to believe we can't improve on. We can't embellish. There's no shortcuts to getting what it's designed to produce. You just have to believe what God designed, and that He will help two people that are committed to that design and committed to the designer and committed to each other in that design, that you will be able to receive the fulfillment that that design is supposed to produce. And for those of us who have been married, my wife and me have been married for, my wife and I have been married for 33 years. And I will tell you what God has designed. There's no shortcuts. We don't have any reason to change it or embellish it. It is a marvelous design that God has designed for a man and a woman to enjoy for a lifetime. And when two people will, by faith, take the designer's wishes and embrace the design the way it's presented and live out a commitment to that design, they will receive the benefit of it. Marriage does take two, and that was part of the design. And but when both are committed by faith to believe what God has designed it to be and live it out that way, they do get to receive all of the benefits and fulfillment of that design. And so commitment, it is rooted in faith. You lose faith, you tend to lose your commitment. So let's make sure that we trust the designs of God by faith. God bless.